But I never wished any of them death. I never wished any of them harm. I want them out of office. I want them out of my hair. I want them out of like positions of power. You know what I mean? But it's just like the where we're at right now as a society full of these entitled brats who have basically lived a life of participation trophies, have never really had to do much of anything. You know, they live their lives on social media and doing everything in the name of trying to get more clicks and more views to whatever bullshit they're putting out. They're all crying to each other on social media, playing the victim for this reason, that reason. It seems like it's different every other day of the week. And then, you know, they do the most disgusting shit. And then when they discover that there are actual repercussions when they're not protected, right? They lose that sense of entitlement. Like, oh, I can do and say whatever I want to do. I can burn buildings. I can lie. I can cuss people out. I can wish death on the world, and nobody will ever do anything to me because this is my opinion. And right. But and other people have an opinion. And now, you know, we see what happens. Right. So, and now all these people that are just losing their shit over the fact that they're losing their jobs because they basically, they're like, I watched the one video, the guy was like, I just lost my job. I've been with Microsoft 6 years and I've just lost my job over an opinion. And I'm like, no, you lost your job because you publicly exposed yourself as being a piece of total human shit. That's why you lost your job. You forgot to put that on your resume. Okay. And it's just like, you know, what was it during the pandemic? Anytime anyone on the right had anything to say about anything, everybody was like, yeah, freedom of speech, sure, but know that there are going to be consequences to your words, to your action. Like, okay, well, you know, when do you realize that this is a two-way street and it's the same shit for both sides, right? You're not immune. You're not immune to repercussions for the actions that you take. I guess overall, like in my gut, in my heart, I wish to God there was a way for everyone to just wake the fuck up and start coming together in some way. Um, it's like I don't have any problem with anybody, man. Like I don't care if you got purple hair and a nose. My wife has a fucking nose ring, for God's sakes. You know what I mean? She's not insane, you know, and it sucks because she loves her nose ring. But now all these video clips you see of people doing and saying insane shit, they all have like a nose ring. And I'm like, what the hell is this? You know, it's just like my wife just thinks it's artistic and like, you know, she's all into all that woozy woo shit, as I call it. But like, you know, it's all about being a better person, being a better you and energy and all that. She's all about the vibe, all about all that, right? But from her, it's just all love. And like for most people, I feel like it's almost like wearing a red or blue bandana in your pants. And it's just like that's really not what it's about. And I don't know. I really just wish there was a way for everybody to just figure out how to come together and start working towards some real resolution. Because honest to God, folks, it really doesn't matter, right or left. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. What do we have on each side? Well, we've got like three or four core issues that what dictate the intent for the entire globe based on these three or four issues. And it's what it seems like it boils down to. And everything else of that is like either an extension of, or it's just something thrown into the mix because it benefits this politician or that political group or this company that's paying for this political group. Like, when do we open our eyes to basically everybody is basically bought and sold? Like everybody, we're all basically slaves to a system through taxation. We're all fighting the same fight. Why can't we ever figure out a way to fight that fight together? And why is it that we have become this? I mean, think about it. I think of all of the LGBTQ community, and they're all talking about Palestine this, Palestine that, and like they're in such passionate defense of basically a group of people that would love to throw them off the roof of a building just for being who they are. Did they not realize this or recognize that? I've seen some of those videos years ago. It was inhuman. It was insane. Have they seen any of them, or do they not really believe that any of that shit ever happened, or potentially still happens to this day? I don't know. There's so many people in this world that hate us just for being Americans. It's not going to change. Why do we all have to hate each other so much that we're willing to sit around gleefully cheering and dancing at the demise, the assassination of somebody who just had a different opinion and a different perspective? I'll never understand it. But I'm sorry. But anybody that comes to me and says that, oh, this is a party of inclusivity, You're full of shit. Everything about you is full of shit. And when I see people on the left sharing memes, and then when you engage them in conversation, they really don't seem to have a clue what the hell you're talking about, or they just basically go away because they really don't know enough to engage you in any kind of conversation. You should just stop talking. You know, like that's it. Just stop talking. Just remove yourself from the conversation entirely. Don't try to earn these like these kudo points from your community. Like, look, I just posted something stupid too that we all agree is right, but it's not because it was disproven last Thursday. But we don't know about that because in our cult, we're not allowed to go and look at the news or look at sources outside of what we're allowed to look at. I mean, it's the same with like the Catholic Church, same with Scientology, same with any group. You're only allowed to read this. You're not allowed to read that. You're not allowed to look here. You're only allowed to look there. It's all a form of control because nobody that's trying to force an indoctrination on anybody wants their focus diverted to something that might lead them astray because they don't want people to see that there's more to the story than what they're being told. And that's basically what it boils down to. And unfortunately, there's so many people in the world today who are struggling for one reason or another that all they want are answers and they want to feel like they're protected. They want to feel like they're included in something. They want to feel like they have a community that has their back no matter what. And unfortunately, that has become a true division in this country that's been exasperated and expanded upon and just driven home in the souls of so many people. Unfortunately, for half of those people, they've been losing their souls in the process. And I don't even know if it's ever possible to get them back.